Hey everybody, and welcome to Robin's house. Today we're working with the In This Together stamp set, and I want to show you the masking stuff. So in one of our cards, we need to, well, we don't have to, but you can if you choose. You're using this stamp set here, this stamp, but you're using the sapphire outline and the grape words. So I'm going to show you how to mask, and then I'm going to show you why I don't. So the first thing you got to do is stamp on a sticky note. So stamp at the top of the sticky note where your image will maintain some of the stickiness. So then we'll go to our cutting mat, and with our little X-Acto knife, you'll just want to quickly cut out the word space. You don't have to be terribly exact, but the more exact you are, the easier it will be to not get it wrong when you're stamping. But for the most part, if you're aiming and keeping things right, just somewhere close is good. Okay, so now we have a Miss Your Face with a little bit of tack at the bottom, and then we have the frame. So then we take our scratch paper and our stamp. So we're gonna stamp the outside first for no reason other than I just said that. So we'll ink up our stamp with sapphire, and then I will try to go over exactly where I was. And then see, I went over the Miss Your Face, and now I can pick that up, and there isn't any words there. Now I'm going to need to, well, I probably should have left that there. That way when I bring this back, it'll have the Miss Your Face missing. So clean it off real quick. We'll go grab my grape stamp and line that up. And now I have grape words inside a sapphire box. You can't even see it very well because it's so, well, I promise it is. The inside is purple and the outside is blue. But you see all the masking and stuff that you have to do, and you'll have to do it on several of the cards. And then there's a card here, this card, where you're supposed to, you would have to build a mask that said Miss Your, one that said Your Face, and one that says Miss Face. So that's super fun. What is more fun to me is to snip my things apart. So that's what I did. I have removed the inside of my bubble, and it's some stamps are easier than others to snip it out. On a stamp this size, it was fairly easy, but I just kind of folded one section and created a snip with my little scissors, that don't have their cap on, and then you can kind of cut around it. And then, so that makes it obviously when it's time to well, it's time to do this other one. So I got to get my lemonade ink out, and of course I'll have to use my stamp chamois to clean off because I had that sapphire blue on there, and now I'm moving to lemonade, so I didn't do a very good job on this one. You can still see sapphire in my lemonade, so I'm going to clean this off and see if I can do better this time. Now that those words are missing, I can stamp my lemonade. Oh, it looks so nice without having to mask. And then now it's time for me to do these words. So what I'm actually trying to accomplish is one of the stickers has the outline and Miss Your Face in 3 different colors. So what I did was, now that I'm done with the lemonade, you take the lightest color first. So my lightest color is lilac, and then the next lightest color is lagoon, and then finally sapphire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the entire stamp. I can kind of show you as we go along. I'm going to ink the entire stamp in lilac, and then I'm going to come over here to the lagoon, and I'm just going to stamp up to your and face, so that if I was to stamp now, I would have a purple miss and a lagoon your face. Let's get back to where we were. Purple miss, lagoon your face, and then the older ones are kind of hard, so I go to the straight edge instead of the curvy edge, and then I can add the sapphire face in there, so that when it's done, I have a purple mist, a lagoon your, and a sapphire face. So you could, if you wanted to, you could cut these apart as well. But if you just strategically plan your colors so that you end up fine, you could also, say for pretend, okay, start with lilac. You didn't want it to go from light to dark oh, look at who didn't clean her stamp off very well. If you didn't want it to go to light to dark, I could go to lagoon with miss, and then I could go to sapphire with face. And then again, it has the purple, the lagoon, and the sapphire. And I didn't have to further cut my stamps. Now I didn't do a great job. It is because I'm rushing a little bit, but you can see it's a lot easier than having to mask to color all these different words. And then the last one that we have to do is the virtual hugs. And mostly I wanted to take that virtual hugs and cut it out of the computer, because I thought I could use those words in a lot more places than just in a computer. So you could use it in another spot. And it was the same way. You just find a larger section where you can get your scissors in there and just kind of snip it out. And that way you can stamp your darker, well, I've already got it on here, so you can stamp your virtual hugs so easily, and then without the hug. And if you're not quite sure how it goes, because sometimes when you get a floppy side, you're trying to put it on the block and you don't know that it's straight, so just set it down on something flat and then pick it up with your block. You didn't see that. Set it down on something flat, like your tabletop or this paper that it's not sticking to, and then just put your block on top of it, and now you know it's in the shape that it's supposed to be in. And then we can take that computer, put it right over the top, no sticky note needed, and there we have virtual hugs. So that is the reason that I choose to snip my images. Now, I might prefer to mask my images if it's a very, very particular project and the likelihood of my ever wanting to use them separately again is very small, then masking would be better. But on things like words, you can always use words in different ways. Like one of our older stamp sets had Happy Spring and Easter wishes. Well, of course you're going to want to say Happy Easter most of the time, so you're going to snip those apart so you can interchange the words. But anyway, that is how you're supposed to mask with your sticky notes and cutting them apart. And then there's also, I guess there's extra fancy paper you can get where sometime I will do the technique with this where you use the die cut so you don't have to snip everything out when you're masking like flowers and such. But I don't do that much, but I will make an effort to do it soon. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you try out real masking, and I hope you try snipping your stamps so you don't have to. Haha. Happy crafting.